Hello Year 3 and welcome to this week's English lesson. Before we start English, I wanted to go back to last week's maths lesson that I did because I'd set you a challenge with the help of 3p to work out which number was in this top secret envelope. Now, so far, and today is Wednesday the 3rd of June, we've had 5 correct answers, so a massive well done to Tyler and Zachary in 3p, Erin in 3h, Ethan in 3C and Izzy P in 3SB for finding the correct answer. I wish I could give you some passport stamps or Court Being Good tickets, but I can't unfortunately, but you do get my seal of approval. Here he is. He's very, very pleased with you. And since then, we've had 6 more correct answers as well. So a huge well done to Daisy and Holly B in 3SB, Micah in 3C, and Eliza, Austin and Freya in 3p for correctly working out the secret number. Great work, guys. For the rest of you who might want to find out, should we have a little look at what was inside? The correct answer was 33. So great job if any of you managed to work that out. Right, on to today's English lesson. Now, I just need to go and get a few things ready, so can you keep an eye on things until I'm back? See you soon. Okay, I've got what we need for today's English lesson, so I'll just leave the... There's someone been in here. There's mud on my board, and what's this? What are these over here? Some stones. Did you see anything? That's really strange. Someone been in my house. Well, today's English lesson was all to do with researching, finding things out, and questions, and I've got a question straight away, beginning with a who. Who has come into my house and who uses, this person must, who uses stones and who uses mud for painting? Have you got any ideas? I know a good website I could use to try and find out.
Kiddle.co is a great child-friendly search engine for finding out lots of fantastic facts. Let's type in what we want to find out about who uses stones and paints using mud. Let's see what it comes up with. You can normally ignore these ones in the grey box. They're normally adverts. But underneath, let's have a look and see. Stone Age cave paintings. Well, it definitely had stones. Cave painting. Early humans may have used art. This looks familiar. Let's click on cave paint. Let's see if they use mud. Cave artists ground up... it might not have been mud. Ground up rock into a powder. That's interesting. But this certainly sounds right.
So it was someone from the Stone Age who's been in. Well, I don't know much about the Stone Age. I can tell they probably didn't have the cleanest showers because he's left a bit of a pong in here. But as I said, I don't know much. So perhaps you could help me today by researching and finding out some information about people from the Stone Age. And that's lucky because our learning objective for today is to organise non-fiction texts. And as you know, a non-fiction text is information. It's true facts. And perhaps you could help me by researching and finding some facts about the Stone Age and organising them in a way that will make people really want to read it. Now, I'm going to have a go as well, and I'm trying to think about non-fiction texts that I've seen before and what makes them really good. What features do they have? Well, I know the first thing that a non-fiction text needs is a title, because that's how people know what it's about. So I'm going to include that in our steps to success and think of a title for my non-fiction text, and it's got, well, what could it be? Well, I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Our non-fiction text is all about the Stone Age, so I'm simply going to start with the title, The Stone Age, and I think I'll put it in capital letters. I know we wouldn't normally put a sentence in all capital letters, but I think this will help it stand out. So, what else do you think might have to go in a non-fiction text? Well, it's got to have some information in, hasn't it? But what do you think people want to know about the Stone Age? What sort of questions will they have? I wonder whether these question words might help us work it out. I wonder what questions you've got about the Stone Age. For example, when was the Stone Age? Why? Why did they use stones? Why didn't they use more modern tools? And once we've thought of those questions, that will help us know what to research. So while I write my question that I'm going to try and research, why don't you try and have a think of your own using some of the question words that I'll stick on the board? Wonder whether you could think of a question beginning with when, who, how, where, what, or why. Have a think now while I write my question on the board. Okay, so my question is, well, I better read it and check it, hadn't I, with noisy punctuation to check I've punctuated it correctly. What did people eat during the Stone Age? And that's got a full stop, but I'm sure because it's a question, it must need a question mark instead. I'm glad I checked our noisy punctuation with a question mark is, let's add one on. Did you think of any other questions? Well, seeing as I want to include what did people eat during the Stone Age and find out, well, I don't know unfortunately, so I can't write the next bit yet. I can't write the information. I'm going to have to do some more research, just like we did before. I wonder if then that website could help us again. Let's have a look.
What could we type in to find what we want? Let's try Stone Age facts. That top one looks good. Stone Age for kids. Let's have a look. And it's got the sections down the side. There's Stone Age food. Let's click on that. There's lots of examples there. So they learned to gather edible plants, collect eggs from birds' nests, and for a sweet treat, took honey from wild beehives. That will definitely help me out. You can also use BBC Bite Size. That's brilliant. If you type in BBC Bite Size, Key Stage 2, History, they should have loads of good things on there. Let's have a look. Here it is at the top. British history. Well, we want prehistoric. I know the Stone Age is prehistoric. And that looks interesting. How did Stone Age hunter-gatherers live? There's lots of information there. Look, there's even a video that you might want to watch. The internet is such a brilliant place to find information, but don't forget our e-safety lessons from school. If you do see something you don't like or makes you feel uncomfortable, remember to tell a trusted adult. Of course, the internet isn't the only place you can find information. You might know someone who knows a lot about history that you could ask about the Stone Age, or maybe find some books. I know it's not ideal at the moment as you can't visit the library, but you never know. If you ask your parents or carers for help, you might be able to find some books online because there are some really fantastic ones out there. So now I know all that information about what people ate during the Stone Age, I need to decide how to put it on my non-fiction text, how I'm going to organise it to make sure whoever reads my text can find the information. And a brilliant way to do that is through subheadings, which are little titles you put throughout the text that help people find the information they're looking for. You might have noticed as I added to the steps to success that I put a little question mark by the subheading because questions make brilliant subheadings because you'll know when you read the question that you're going to find the answer underneath in that section. So I've actually already got my subheading here. I can do this. I can use this perfectly. What did people eat during the Stone Age? I want to make it stand out though, really, to organise it. I want people to know it's the subheading, so I could have done it in a different colour. I could put a bubble around it maybe. I think I'm going to underline it just to show people that it is a subheading as well and it's somewhere that they can find the information they're looking for. Let's put a line under there. And then after that, I think we're ready to start adding some information for people to read. So let's add that to the steps to success as well.
a very important part of any non-fiction text, obviously, is the information. And you'll notice I've put a little conjunction jigsaw piece here as well, because that can make our writing even better. I remember a lesson recently with Mr. Bully where he looked at a real range of conjunctions that I'm going to try and use in my writing today as well. So, now I'm ready to write, I need to start thinking about the information. I'm going to use these four faces that always help me with my writing, think about what I want to write, I'm going to say it out loud, write it down, and I'm going to check it as well, seeing if I can use one of those conjunctions in there as well. I could start with the front of the verbal of time to say when it happened. During the Stone Age, people hunted and fished for food. I read that. Now, what sort of special conjunction could I put in? Well, they did that before something else, because then they went on to learning to find plants, eggs and honey, we read, didn't we? So, during the Stone Age, people hunted and fished for food before learning to find plants, eggs and honey. I know where to put that comma in the list as well, thanks to Miss Cole's lesson a few weeks ago. Right, this is my turn. Let's see if I can write it down now, we're ready. So I'm going to put it underneath. You might notice why I'm leaving this space here instead of writing all the way to the line. You'll find out soon enough. During the Stone Age, and then if you remember when we did front of the verbials, we put a little comma afterwards to separate it from the rest of the sentence. During the Stone Age, people, it's a tricky word, people, Peopoli, I always remember it as. People, so it said they hunted and fished for food, didn't it? People hunted and fished. It's that ed suffix again. I know I need that because it's in the past tense. For food. Now I'm going to use that conjunction, that before. Before. And that's when they learned, didn't they? Before learning to find other sources of food. Before learning to find, and this is where I've got three things now, so I need to put a comma after the first thing, because it said they found eggs, plants, but now I need my and honey. Full stop, that's the end of my sentence. I need to read it though, and I'm going to use some noisy punctuation to check. During the Stone Age, people hunted and fished for food before learning to find eggs, plants and honey. Excellent, I'm happy with that. So I'm trying to think back to other non-fiction texts I've seen. Is there anything else you think we could add? What do you notice when you read a non-fiction book? I know. Non-fiction books quite often have pictures, don't they, to help the reader understand what they're reading. So I'm going to add pictures to our steps to success as well. Now, you might like to do some artwork on here as well, on your poster or your information text, which would be amazing. Or you might be lucky enough to be able to print off some pictures from the research that you've done. I actually remember on the website we looked at finding this picture of what Stone Age people might have eaten. So I've printed that off, and this is why I've left this space up here to stick this onto my poster, my non-fiction text. Now, how do people know what that picture's about? Well, hopefully you remembered that when we put a picture in non-fiction text, we must have a caption. That's a little sentence or a short phrase that says what the picture is about, what it's showing us, what information is it giving us. And also you may need labels to show what different parts of the picture mean. So I think I need to think of a caption, don't I? Well, this is simple. This is Stone Age food. That's what it is. So I'm going to write underneath, quite small writing for a caption. I'm going to write Stone Age food. However, my reader might not know what all of those things are, so that's where the labels come in handy. So I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to use different colours now as well, because I want to make it stand out for the reader as well. I'm going to see what I could label. Well, these are the eggs, aren't they, that they might have found. So I'm going to draw a line to the eggs and label it with, there are the eggs. What else could I label? Well, I can certainly see down here the plants that they found as well. They look like nettles. I hope they found a way to eat them without getting stung. So there are the nettles. And maybe one more label as well. Well, it's quite an obvious one, but I'm going to add it on anyway. In the middle, when they went hunting and fishing, they would have found some fish. Probably making tools to catch those fish. So I'm going to label the fish as well. Now, for my turn, I've only used one subheading. My text is only about what did people eat during the Stone Age, but hopefully you can add in more information than me. If I was carrying on, I'd think of a new question to write down here and new ways to organise it and make it really stand out. One thing I've seen children do at school before, which has really impressed me, is writing their question on a flap of paper and you have to lift it up to find the answer. That's going to really make it stand out. Okay, I've had my turn. I'm happy with what I've done. Now it's your turn.
So today, we'd like you all to create a non-fiction text or poster about the Stone Age. For the 1 Chili challenge, see if you can include a title and a picture. For 2 Chili, can you organise your non-fiction text with subheadings and use question sentences like I did? And finally, for 3 Chili, can you use a range of conjunctions to link your ideas? Don't forget the brilliant conjunctions you learnt about with Mr. Bully.
Good luck, guys, and I hope you enjoy making your non-fiction texts. Don't forget to email what you've done to year3@frenchprimary.worc.